do you need to give up in your day to cause you to feel more peaceful, more powerful, and more profitable? Do you know the answer? Or would you be guessing at what you think this would be? Well, let's have a conversation of getting from overwhelmed and stressed to clarified and in control, how to tame your life so you can enjoy your profits. When I talk about profits, I want you to understand that I am not always talking about dollars and the bottom line that comes with it. Instead, I'm talking about your fulfillment and your enjoyment in life, because let's face it, you can have as many dollars as you want, and unless you are enjoying your life, it doesn't matter. It will not matter. So in the interim, I want you to just consider that profits is not just about money, even though a lot of us want it and think that that is the only answer. What I'm about to share with you today is something that will help you to enjoy the dollars as they come along. Now, I want to share a little highlight about my story. You see, I am the productivity queen. No matter where I went, no matter what organization I found myself in, everybody knew that if something's going to get done, ask Dr. Gwen, right? And so I was the person that everybody would ask to help them with projects, to help them to oversee stuff. And mark you, I never really did have a boss breathing down my back, because most of the times I was in charge of other departments and other people. But my colleagues would often come and seek my assistance for that. And so there was a little bit of pride in that, I have to admit, just knowing that you're able to accomplish your tasks, but it came at a huge expense. You see, I am the treadmill queen. I was the one who was always running around on the treadmill, looking at the next task that is yet to be done, and being totally freaked out about it, thinking the sky's gonna fall in if I didn't get this activity that I'm doing done now, so I could get to the next activity on time. See, everything had to work like clockwork for me. As I said, that came at a great expense. I found myself with my pressure up quite often, and I even found myself in the hospital with that situation. So when I started my own business, naturally, I brought that same approach with me. Clockwork, baby, let's get this done. And I was quite productive. I produced a lot of things on my own before I started even thinking about hiring anybody to assist me. But you know, one day, about 3 years ago, that led to a wake-up call. I had a small clot pass through my brain, debilitating my left hand and my left leg, basically leaving me unable to walk in a proper upright gait. That truly was a wake-up call for me. And there were a lot of things that I discovered as a result. Naturally, I slowed down because I realized if I didn't slow down, something else was going to give, and it was going to be me. It wasn't going to be the task. So I had to face that. I had to listen to my body. So I slowed down and started paying attention. And as a result of that, there were a lot of programs that I was able to develop that help others to overcome whatever their stress levels were, or whatever the debilitating factors were that they were facing in that moment. Now, I want to share some of the things with you that I discovered. The first thing was that how I viewed time was really causing me a lot of stress, because inevitably when I had a task to do or several tasks to do, my goal was always getting through that task and getting through it on time. Now, on time was a timeline that I set up for myself, but it didn't matter because I'm a person who believes in living in integrity. I personally made an effort that whenever I set a goal, whenever I set a timeline, I am going to meet it. I still do that now. However, it's a different approach. I'm not looking at the task as if the sky's going to fall in or something's going to go amok if I don't meet the timeline. And I'm able now to move things around. But just looking at how I viewed time was a great factor for me that allowed me to drop a lot of my stress level right out the gate. But see, that was huge, but it just was not sufficient. There are other changes that I had to make that helped me to sort my life. And so that is the essence of what I want to share with you in our short discussion today. What I want to share with you are 4 things that I think you need to put in your life that I personally have used in mine, that I've used with several of my clients with very great results to help them to go from overwhelmed and stressed to clarified and fulfilled in no time. But you have to make certain that whatever I am asking you to do is not something you're going to look at as just theory. As something that you're going to hear go in one ear and out the other, and you don't do anything about it. Because the reality is that a lot of people who end up not getting any results in their lives don't fulfill. Knowledge does not transform. I don't care what anybody tells you. Knowledge does not transform. You must put that knowledge into action. And so, getting from overwhelmed and stressed to clarified and profitable. How do you do that? Now, I'm going to go a little bit different from how a lot of people show you how to be productive. Because when they're dealing with productivity, they use it as a capsule, more or less, some compartmentalization where you make a list of the things that you're doing right now, and then you create another column, and in that column you're going to move the things over that you think you can delegate. And you're focused on just that task. But if you're going to get your life on track to be profitable and to be completely fulfilled, then you have to look at your whole life in its entirety. And when I say your whole life, that's exactly what I need. The first place to start is you are going to have to know all of the things that are important to you. Did I say all? Yes, I said all. You must be able to know everything that's important to you. Now that's going to take some quiet time. If you've listened to my broadcast before and our discussions, you may come across the resources, and there are tons of resources on my website to help you with that at thedrgwen.com, thedrgwen.com/blog. But the first place you need to start is to really look at the things that are most important to you in your life. And there are about 7 areas that you need to focus on, from your whole spirituality to your self-improvement to your finances and relationships. I'm not going to go through it all. If you go to my website, you'll find that. And once you sort and write down all of those things, I want you to come up with the top 5, because you possibly can't exhaust a list of 15 stuff that you need to do in your life every day to cause you to feel fulfilled. So come up with a top 5, but be clear about all the things that are important to you. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do, number 2, is to make a list. And this list rather than a list of the activity that you're working on that you want to be productive about, or your business that you are working on and you want to be productive about, or your personal life if you're a stay-at-home mom that you want to be productive about, I'm going to ask you to make a list of every single thing you're doing from Sunday to Saturday. And you make a list. You might need to go through your mind to think about all of the things that you are doing now, whether it is in your personal life, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your career, whatever or wherever you're doing those things. Make a list of it, because they all occupy your time. They occupy your 168 hours that you have in the week. And you only have 168. You don't have a day more or an hour less. We all have 168 hours in the week. So you make a list. And after you've created that list, the third thing you're going to do is you're going to sort. You're going to sort them into 4 areas. And to figure out the areas that are important and urgent, or important and not urgent, or not important and urgent and not important and not urgent, you will need to spend some reflection time. Now, you may struggle a little bit with that, and just in case you do, there is a resource that I have that I can point you to where you can download a guide. It walks you through everything step by step that you need to do. But when you come away from doing that exercise, you're going to be totally fulfilled and completely surprised at what you're able to achieve. When I do this in groups with business owners, this is one of the most important things that they find totally valuable for them as they set out to prioritize their time or their day or their lives. So you want to do that. Go to peace-power-profits.com/priorities. I'll leave that link underneath this video so you can watch it or click it and go to the site and enter your name and email address and download this free guide and work through it. And then I want to hear from you about the changes and the transformation that you have imparted or put in your life as a result of using that resource. Now, I did say there were 4 things that I was going to share with you. And this 4th one is related to every possible thing you think you can do in business, whether you are working your own business, or whether you are a career professional, or even whether you're a homeowner, working from home, or a stay-at-home mom. There's this thing called the Ultradian Rhythm. And this rhythm allows you to energize yourself if you observe it. Basically, what it does is, in your day, you may notice while you're working that there are certain lull periods when you feel tired or your brain starts getting foggy. And then there are those periods where you have high energy, where you're able to really push and get things done. Now, what most of us tend to do is that when we are working, we push through those lull moments, and really, in effect, they're not as powerfully effective and productive as we think they are. And this is why a lot of universities and businesses are building rest areas, not restrooms like potty break stuff, but they're building rooms where nap rooms, they call them, where you can actually go and take a relaxation break for about 10 to 15 minutes of your day. What the research shows and the science shows is that your body goes through these rhythms, and if you can catch you on the down rhythm, that's when you know it's your cue to take a break. So you take a break, you breathe deeply, you walk away and you find something relaxing on the mind. Don't start taking up your cell phone and answering emails or text messages. Just relax. It's really downtime. Totally relax your body and enjoy the moment. And for the next 90 minutes, you will be on the high, or however you do it. But the Ultradian Rhythm says that within 90 to 180 minutes, you're at a peak, and then at the end of it, you're at the low, and you need to take that break. Taking that break perks up your endurance so that you can be much more productive, much more alert, much more energized to take on the tasks that you are doing every single day. So I just want to review those 4 things that we just talked about, and then I'm going to leave you, and the link will be at the bottom of the video. The first thing we talked about is you must be clear about every single thing that is important to you. Know them. Then come up with a top 5. Pick off 5 of those that energize you the most. When you do that, life becomes more enjoyable. The second thing is list everything you're doing from Sunday to Saturday. And now you're going to take a look at those things to see how they fit in with those areas of life that are important to you. The next thing is that you're going to whittle that list or into 4 different categories. And the categories will be on the download guide that you take on when you click the link on the website and you enter your name and email address. You get that whole guide plus the download guide, and you enter the information there, and then you start putting that into effect. And then the 4th thing is that Ultradian Rhythm. Take a break every 90 minutes for 15 minutes. So for every 90 minutes, for 15 minutes, take a breather break and make sure you're not doing anything that's taxing during that time. And then you can watch yourself rise from the slump of being overwhelmed and stressed to being clarified and in control of your day. So that's all, my friends, that I want to share with you today, and I hope that you enjoyed listening. Please drop me a line and let me know how the resources are helping you. Once again, this is Dr. Gwen.